The frustration that Jimmy displayed. Cornpop. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Without me asking for it.
Behold, pale horse. I'd pay $5 to see Jimmy Dore body slam a disagreeable guest. Just saying. LOL.
What the fuck?
So, fears of imminent catastrophe mount as Hezbollah hits back amid Israeli airstrikes. There's no joke for this, right? So there's full-out war happening now, it looks like, between Lebanon and Israel, just exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu wanted. He wants full-on war with Lebanon and Iran, if possible. That's what he wants. That's what he wanted war with Iraq, he got it. He wanted war with Syria, he got it. He wanted war with Libya, he got it. He wants war with Lebanon, he's got it. And now, if we could stay out of Iran, a war with Iran, that'll be a miracle. But I don't think Trump and J.D. Vance will be able to resist it, and Kamala Harris will certainly do it. It cannot be overstated enough. There is no military solution that will make either side safer. That's true. Here's what Dan Cohen says, friend of the show. He says, Israel will be able to destroy more of Lebanon than Hezbollah can of Israel. But Israel is not accustomed to the damage Hezbollah will be able to inflict, and for an extended time period. Israel's national psyche, traumatized, weak, and divided because of an identity crisis endemic to Zionism, can't withstand such pressure. If this is a war of ideologies, Zionism isn't built to last, whereas the ideology of the axis of resistance draws from a deeper well. Israel initiating a full-scale war on Lebanon looks to be another escalation in the process of its own implosion and self-destruction. I say fingers crossed. That's what I say. The idea that there, again, I need to be convinced that there needs to be an Israel, and why was England in a position to give away someone else's land in Palestine? Oh, if you go back to the Bible 40,000 years ago, there were Jews and Palestinians living in harmony until they did the Balfour Declaration and then the Nakba. So this idea that Jews don't feel safe, you know what's making Jews unsafe is Israel's warmongering.
Huh.
What Israel's doing in Palestine, in Gaza, in the West Bank right now, what it's doing in Lebanon, what it did with Syria. That's what's making Jews less safe around the world. All the Jews I know live in New York, Florida, Hollywood, feels perfectly safe. But he says this is it. So Israel doing this is an escalation in the process of its own implosion and self-destruction. Fears of an all-out Middle East war mounted Sunday as Hezbollah fired more than 100 rockets into Israel, whose military continued bombing targets in southern Lebanon while moving troops and tanks and other equipment toward the northern border. During a Sunday funeral speech for 3 members killed in Israeli airstrikes, Hezbollah Deputy Secretary General Naim Qassem declared an open-ended battle with Israel is underway. Hezbollah is reeling from last week's unprecedented surprise attack on communication devices that killed dozens of people and wounded thousands more, as well as an Israeli airstrike on Beirut suburbs that have slain dozens of Lebanese, including women and children, and injured scores more. The dead include senior Hezbollah commander Abraham Akil. We admit that we are pained. We are humans. But as we are pained, you will also be pained, Qassem told mourners at Akil's funeral, directing his remarks to Israel. In Israel, air raid warnings. I thought they had the Iron Dome.
Yeah.
Apparently that Iron Dome's all bullshit. Blared warnings of incoming Hezbollah rocket fire that penetrated further south in Israel than at any time in nearly 2 decades, sending residents scrambling for shelters. Israel media reported 13 people injured, one of them seriously, and heavy damage to homes and cars, as officials closed schools, limited gatherings, and ordered hospitals to move patients in the north. the Israeli Defense Forces moved troops, tanks, and other equipment toward the border with Lebanon. Numerous social media posts said Israeli reservists had received emergency call-up orders known as Tzav 8s. Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu said Sunday that his far-right government would take whatever action is necessary to restore security. That's over with. In the northern part of Israel, no country can accept the wanton rocketing of our cities. We can't accept it either. Hezbollah said it would not stop fighting until Israel stops its assault on Gaza, for which it is on trial for genocide at the International Court of Justice. So again, the United States, ever since World War II, we've been on the wrong side of every conflict, pretty much. And we're on the wrong side of this one. Janine Hennis-Plascheret, the United Nations envoy for Lebanon, said on Twitter that with the region on the brink of an imminent catastrophe, it cannot be overstated enough. There is no military solution to make either side safer. No, it's not going to be safer. I'll tell you that. European Union Foreign Policy Chief and European Commission Vice President Joseph Borrell said on social media Sunday that the EU is extremely concerned by the escalation in Lebanon following Friday's attacks in Beirut and the increasing cross-border violence between Israel and Hezbollah. Civilians on both sides are paying an enormous price. An immediate ceasefire is needed. In the United States, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby told ABC's This Week on Sunday that the Biden administration, which supplies Israel with billions of dollars in arms and diplomatic cover, is involved in extensive and quite assertive diplomacy. Really? 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 How's that working out for you? You've been doing diplomacy since October 7th. How's that working out? We want to make sure that we can continue. You know how you make the diplomacy work? You take the arms and money away from Israel and you make them force a peace deal and stop bombing Gaza. That's how you do it. We want to make sure that we can continue to do everything we can to try to prevent this from becoming it's like, hey, I'm going to give you all the booze you want, alcoholic, but I'm going to try to diplomacy you into quitting drinking. We still believe that there can be time and space for a diplomatic solution there. Really? You think? That'd be surprising. Israeli strike. So here, I had to black out. So there's a big bomb going off here. I had to white it out or else they'll demonetize this. I'm not allowed to show any of that stuff. So Israeli strikes kill 492 in heaviest daily toll in Lebanon since the 1975-90 civil war. Israel says it hit 1,300 targets in escalating conflict with Hezbollah, and tens of thousands flee their homes. Full-scale war, this is from Megatron. Hezbollah is now retaliating fiercely after Israel's massive bombing of Lebanon, which has killed over 270 civilians so far across the country. Missiles fall in Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Jewish settlements on the West Bank. Israel has started to hit Beirut as well. And then Dr. Eli David put this out. Beirut, this is the before photo. This is what Beirut looks like. And then the after photos coming through. So he's saying that Israel's going to flatten Beirut. So Bibi's getting what he wants. Full-scale war. Good luck, everybody. The Harris, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they're all for supporting Israel in this war. So is Donald Trump and Bobby Kennedy. And doesn't seem like there's any way out of a war there. And a lot of people say that's where World War III is going to start. We'll see. Over to Steph.